You know, when we think of superheroes, we usually think of capes and superpowers. But forget all that for a minute. Today, we're diving into a different kind of blueprint for a hero, a spiritual hero. This is the Bodhisattva, a figure of just ultimate compassion and courage. And our guide for this is one of the most epic texts in Mahayana Buddhism, the Avatamsaka Sutra. Trust me, this isn't just about ancient mythology. It's really a guide to unlocking a kind of heroic potential that, believe it or not, is inside all of us.
Okay, so first things first, what exactly is a bodhisattva? Well, the term pretty much translates to an awakening hero. But here's the key. This isn't someone who's just seeking enlightenment for themselves, not at all. Their entire mission, their whole reason for being, is to achieve that ultimate wisdom specifically for the benefit of every single being in existence. I mean, just think about that. It's probably the most radical form of selflessness you can even imagine.
So you might be asking, how on earth do you even begin to cultivate a mindset like that? Well, we're going to break it down into 5 key stages. We'll start with the hero's calling. Then we'll look at developing a mind like a mountain, finding a wisdom deep as the ocean, and making vows that are harder than diamond. And finally, the most important part, what it means for you to take your first step on the path.
So let's get into it. The whole journey starts with what we're calling the hero's calling. And it's not some quest out in the world. It actually starts inside. It's all about building this completely unshakable intention, what the sutra calls a mind that is totally free from any sense of inferiority.
Now, this non-inferior mind, it's not about being arrogant or thinking you're better than anyone. It's actually the opposite. It's about having this boundless confidence in your potential to help. I mean, just imagine it, vowing to overcome all obstacles, both inside you and out in the world. Being willing to give away literally anything, your stuff, your reputation, even parts of your own body, without a single shred of regret. And that's just the starting line. The commitment is to teach everyone with supreme patience and to achieve a wisdom so vast it sees all of time in a single moment.
All right, so once that incredible intention is set, the bodhisattva needs a serious foundation of resilience, and the sutra gives us this amazing metaphor for it. It calls it a mind like a mountain.
Just listen to this for a second. This really gets to the heart of that mountain-like mind. Think about facing the worst insults, horrible lies, even physical violence, and not just putting up with it, but doing it without a single hateful thought. Never, ever abandoning your vow to help the very people who are trying to hurt you. Wow. I mean, that is a level of emotional and spiritual stability that is just off the charts.
And this kind of strength, it isn't just about being tough, you know? The mountain mind can endure anything, sure, but it also isn't attached to success or winning. It's this pure devotion that can last for eons, without ever getting tired. And it's all driven by self-motivation, not because you're looking for likes or applause. And this incredible stability, it comes from a really deep wisdom, seeing that all things are fundamentally empty, not that they're meaningless, but that they're always changing and interconnected, and still working tirelessly within that reality purely out of compassion.
Okay, so from the unshakable stability of the mountain, we're now going to plunge into the depths of wisdom. The sutra described the bodhisattva's next quality as a wisdom that is as vast, as deep, and as all-encompassing as the ocean itself.
This line here, it points to a total shift in how you perceive reality. This isn't about, predicting the future with a crystal ball. It's about a kind of wisdom that goes way beyond our normal, straight-line view of time. It's about seeing the profound interconnectedness of everything, past, present, and future, all at once, in a single flash of insight. This ocean-like wisdom, it's what allows the bodhisattva to truly enter the reality of every single being, to see all worlds without judgment, and to perceive all the enlightened ones appearing throughout all of time. They can understand the good deeds of every being across all of history. And here's the really wild part. It's seeing that all of existence is sort of like a dream, but instead of just checking out, they dive right in and engage with that dream with perfect, skillful compassion. And that brings us to the climax of this whole spiritual blueprint. This is where the intention, the resilience, and the wisdom all fuse together to form vows. And these vows are so powerful, so unbreakable, that the sutra compares them to diamond.
The scale here is it's mind-boggling. This isn't a promise for a year or even a lifetime. This is a vow to stay in just one world for endless ages, just teaching and helping without your mind ever being startled, frightened, or terrified, and then to do that in all the other worlds too. The fearlessness is just absolute.
This really puts it all into perspective. I mean, a pretty common aspiration for many of us, and it's a great goal, is to work to find our own peace and happiness, right? But look at the Bodhisattva's vow. It completely flips that script. It's, I will guide every single being to ultimate peace, no matter how long it takes. The self just becomes totally secondary to the well-being of all.
Which brings us to this number. 0. What is this? This is the number of beings a bodhisattva is willing to leave behind. None. The mission is total. It's universal. It's absolute. There are no exceptions.
Okay, so we've been talking about this huge, cosmic, heroic blueprint, a mind like a mountain, wisdom like the ocean, vows like diamond. It's incredible stuff. But what does any of this have to do with us, right here, right now, in our daily lives? Well, this final section is all about bringing this epic ideal right back home.
Because here's the secret. At the end of the day, this path doesn't begin with some superhuman act. It doesn't require you to be perfect. It begins with a really simple but incredibly powerful internal shift. It's a shift in the basic orientation of your heart, moving from a life that's centered on me to a life that starts to include we.
So how do we actually do that? How do we make that shift? Well, you can think of it as a simple 3-step process. Step 1, just for a moment today, try to cultivate a genuine wish for someone else to be happy. Anyone, a friend, a stranger. Step 2, make one small, sincere promise to help someone. It can be tiny. And then step 3, and this is maybe the most important part, act on that promise, but do it without looking for a thank you or a pat on the back or any kind of reward. The act itself becomes its own fulfillment.
So we've talked about these unbreakable, diamond-like vows. Let's bring that idea all the way down to this very moment. What is one unbreakable vow, no matter how small, that you can make today for the benefit of even one other person? Because right there, that's where the hero's journey really begins.